ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 1, chapter entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna, Introduction. Text from 60 till 63 we are seeing today. Few verses they don't have purport. So I will read the beginning verses and then 63rd verse we all will chant together. Pratiyatu kumaroyang nahyasmadasti me bhayang ashtamad युवयोर गर्भान मृत्युर्मे विहितः किला. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: O Vasudeva, you may take back your child and go home. I have no fear of your first child. It is the 8th child of you and Devaki I am concerned with, because that is the child by whom I am destined to be killed. Text 61. Tatheti sutamadaya yayavanakadhundubihi nabayanandat tadvakyam asato vijitatmanah. Translation: Vasudeva agreed and took his child back home, but because Kamsa had no character and no self-control, Vasudeva knew that he could not rely on Kamsa's word. So 62 and 63 they are together. I will just read 62. Nandadya evraje gopa yascha misham cha yoshitah vrishnayo vasudevadya devakyadhyaya dushriyah striyah. 63 we will chant together. Please repeat after me. Sarve vai devata prayah ubayoho api bharata jnatayah bandhu suhradah e cha kangsang अनुव्रताः सर्वे वै देवता प्राया उभयोरपि भारत ज्ञातयो बन्धुसुहृदो ये च कंसमनुव्रताः. सर्वे, all of them. Why, indeed, devata prayah, were inhabitants of heaven. Ubayoho, of both Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. Api, indeed, Bharata, O Maharaj Parikshit. Jnatayah, the relatives. Bandhu, friends. Suhridah, well-wishers. A, all of whom. Cha, and. Kangsam, Anuvratah, even though apparently followers of Kamsa. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Translation: The inhabitants of Vrindavana, headed by Nanda Maharaj and including his associate cowherd men and their wives, were none but denizens of the heavenly planets. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the descendants of Bharata, and so too were the descendants of the Vrishni dynasty, headed by Vasudeva and Devaki and the other women of the dynasty of Yadu. The friends relatives and well-wishers of both Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva, and even those who externally appear to be followers of Kamsa, were all demigods. Purport: as previously discussed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu informed Lord Brahma that Lord Krishna would personally descend to mitigate the suffering on the earth. The Lord ordered all the denizens of the heavenly planets to take birth in different families of the Yadu and Vrishni dynasties, and in Vrindavana. Now this verse informs us that all the family and friends of the Yadu dynasty, the Vrishni dynasty, Nanda Maharaj and the Gopas descended from the heavenly planets to see the pastimes of the Lord. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, the Lord's pastimes consist of Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkrutam, saving the devotees and killing the demons. To demonstrate these activities, the Lord called for devotees from different parts of the universe. There are many devotees who are elevated to the higher planetary systems. Prapya punya kritam lokan ushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brashto bijayate. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Bhagavad Gita 6.41. Some devotees, having failed to complete the process of devotional service, are promoted to the heavenly planets, to which the pious are elevated, and after enjoying there, they may be directly promoted to the place where the Lord's pastimes are going on. When Lord Krishna was to appear, the denizens of the heavenly planets were invited to see the pastimes of the Lord. And thus, it is stated here that the members of the Yadu and Vrishni dynasties and the inhabitants of Vrindavana were demigods or almost as good as demigods. Even those who externally helped the activities of Kamsa belong to the higher planetary systems. The imprisonment and release of Vasudeva and the killing of various demons were all manifestations of the pastimes of the Lord, and because the devotees would be pleased to see these activities personally, they were all invited to take birth as friends and relatives of these families. As confirmed in the prayers of Kunti, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.8.19, Nato Natya Dharo Yata. The Lord was to play the part of a demon killer and a friend, son and brother to his devotees, and thus these devotees were all summoned. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swami Niti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sarve Vai Devata Praya Ubhayorapi Bharata Nyatayo Bandhu Suhrado Echa Kangsam Manuvrataha. The inhabitants of Vrindavana, headed by Nanda Maharaj and including his associate cowherd men and their wives, were none but denizens of the heavenly planets. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the descendants of Bharata, and so too were the descendants of the Vrishni dynasty, headed by Vasudeva and Devaki and the other women of the dynasty of Yadu. The friends, relatives and well-wishers of both Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva, and even those who externally appear to be followers of Kamsa, were all demigods. Hare Krishna. So now we are seeing, after Vasudeva presenting all the philosophical arguments and logical arguments to save Devaki from the hands of Kamsa. So to Kamsa, Vasudeva presented all these arguments, and finally in one of the translations we saw that after hearing these logical arguments, Kamsa agrees to Vasudeva that okay, anyway my children, eighth child only will kill you, not Devaki. So you spare Devaki and then I will give you my each and every child. So Kamsa also gets pacified, and Vasudeva goes back. He continues he begins his family life, and then as it was mentioned, every year Vasudeva and Devaki, they were producing children. They were begetting children. And when they got the first child, what happened? Vasudeva, keeping to his promise, immediately brings the child to Kamsa. So that's what was mentioned in yesterday's last few verses. And particularly in yesterday's verse, we saw when Vasudeva brought the newborn child. Just immediately when the child was born, they gave name to the child, Kirtiman, and then they brought the child. He brought the child to Kamsa. And when Kamsa is seeing Vasudeva bringing the child to give to Kamsa, immediately Kamsa was pleased, very happy. And particularly there was mentioning of this word that in yesterday's verse you would have seen. The last line of the shloka, Prahassan idam abhravit. So what was the translation? Therefore, with a smiling face, he spoke as follows. So whatever we are seeing from today's verse, Kamsa is speaking with smiling face. Prahassan idam abhravit. In Bhagavad Gita also we see that, right? Prahassan iva bharata. Krishna was smiling at Arjuna. Prabhupada mentions that in several places. Prabhupada mentions few reasons, out of which one of the reason was Krishna was surprised. Arjuna, just few minutes back, you told me, you asked me, Krishna, take me in front of Kaurava armies. Let me see who have assembled here to fight with me. You were so enthusiastic to fight at that time. And now suddenly you are lamenting. You don't want to fight. It's really surprising. Just a few minutes back you were really enthusiastic. Now suddenly you are lamenting. So this was unexpected from Arjuna. So Krishna was smiling there. Similarly, we could see here, though Kamsa knew that Vasudeva will keep to his words, keep to his promise, still when Vasudeva immediately brought the newborn baby, just the newborn baby immediately is bringing to Kamsa, then Kamsa is smiling. In pleasant, it was a pleasant shock for Kamsa, and also he was happy that Vasudeva is keeping to his promise. And when Kamsa saw that, yes, really Vasudeva is determined, and also Kamsa thought, this child is not going to kill me. In today's verse we saw what was that? In 16th verse, third line, Ashtamad yuvayor garbhan. So Vasudeva, Kamsa is thinking, I have no fear of your first child. It is the 8th child of you and Devaki I am concerned with. Actually, Prabhupada did not give any commentary on this verse and the next verse, but in Krishna book, we see Prabhupada spoke something regarding this. So therefore, I also thought we'll discuss something. Otherwise, when commentary is not there, we don't discuss. So Prabhupada in Srimad Bhagavatam say, as in Krishna book, Prabhupada mentions that then Kamsa was saying the same thing, that this child is not going to kill me. Your 8th child is going to kill me, and I am very happy that you brought this child. So Kamsa is saying in this verse that what he is saying, so you take back this child, because Kamsa knew even the first child Vasudeva brought. Similarly, the 8th child also he will bring and give to me. He will keep his promise. He will not break his promise. So Kamsa was that much sure on Vasudeva's case. So he said, okay, you take back. And Prabhupada in Krishna book he writes, then immediately Vasudeva was pleased by the behavior of Kamsa. And in the next verse we can see Vasudeva agreed and took back his child home. He took the child back, and Prabhupada mentioned that Vasudeva was feeling happy by seeing the behavior of Kamsa, but as the translation also says, as the verse we can see, Nabhaya Nandata Tadvakyam. Word by word meaning, Prabhupada says, Nabhaya Nandata. He did not very much value Tadvakyam, the words of Kamsa. Though Vasudeva was happy by the behavior of Kamsa, he took back the child, but at the same time, he did not value the words. He did not believe in the words of Kamsa. Why? The next line says, Asato Vichitatmanaha. Because Kamsa was Asata. Asataha means one who is without character, and avijita atmanaha means without self-control. So Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, one who is not controlling his senses, one who is engaging in unrestricted sense enjoyment, he cannot be a trustful person, because he does not have control over his senses. He does not have control over his decisions. Anytime he can change his decisions, anytime he can do anything, whatever he wants. So we cannot trust such a person. So Vasudeva clearly knew that Kamsa is a very nice diplomatic king also, and he is a pakka demon. Prabhupada immediately quotes in Krishna book regarding Chanakya, Vishwasam naiva kartavya strishu raja kuleshu. So one doesn't believe the words of a diplomatic person, Raja Kuleshu, because they are diplomatic, they cheat, they change their things. And from Bhagavad Gita also we see Krishna says, Bhoga Ishwarya prasaktanam tayah pahrita chetasam vyavasayatmikah buddhi samadho na vidiyate. Those who are behind Bhoga and Ishwarya, those who are behind opulence, sense enjoyment, those who are running behind that, they will not have determination. Why? Because they don't have control over their own self, over their senses. So therefore, Vasudeva clearly know that, so he didn't believe in the words of Kamsa, but he was happy and he was taking back his child home. And so these two verses relating this incident, and the verse to which Prabhupada gave purport, this 62 and 63, this verse is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. We can see in this verse there is a word in the last line, that is the third line. Sarve vai devata praya ubayor api bharata. So Bharata, Prabhupada mentions in word by word translation, here the last one line before, Bharata, O Maharaj Parikshit is mentioned. So from this clearly it is visible that this verse Shukadeva Goswami is speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. And then he is explaining that what he is explaining, all the family members of Vrishni dynasty, Yadu dynasty, Bhoja dynasty, they all are from heavenly planetary system. Why they all came? Prabhupada nicely explains in the purport that when Brahma went and approached Lord Vishnu, Vishnu said that Krishna himself will personally come and will remove the burden of this earth, and Lord ordered all the demigods to help him, to take birth in different families and assist him in doing this pastime. So therefore all the demigods, they took birth in these families, this all we know, correct? But this verse is really interesting. There is really interesting thing in this verse. What is that? If we saw the previous verses. Previous verses spoke about Vasudeva bringing the child, showing to Kamsa, and Kamsa sending back Vasudeva with the child. This was the previous verses. And if you see the next verses, I don't want to spoil the next verses, but just to link today's verse, we will just see the translation of the next verses, 64 and 64, at least 64 and 65. 64th verse translation goes like this. Once the great saint Narada approached Kamsa and informed him of how the demoniac persons who were a great burden on the earth were going to be killed, thus Kamsa was placed into great fear and doubt. So in the next verse it is mentioned that Narada Muni comes, he speaks to Kamsa that see, these demoniac people are in this earthly planet now, and they all are going to be killed. So immediately Kamsa gets afraid. And then the next translation says, after saying that, the departure of great saint Narada, Narada Muni left from there. Just little be attentive. Previous verse we saw Vasudeva coming, showing to Kamsa and going back. And in the next verses it is coming that Narada Muni is visiting Kamsa and speaking to Kamsa that these demoniac kings, they all will be killed. That means you are also one among them, you will also be killed. And saying this, Narada Muni also goes back. Now, what is the relation between today's verse and this previous or the next verses? In today's verse Shukadeva Goswami, suddenly we are seeing like he is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj regarding the family members of Vrishnikula or Yadukula or Bhoja, right? What is the need for him to tell here suddenly? Because even from the next verse, when Narada Muni comes and speaks to Kamsa and goes back, what is happening? Kamsa begins to kill from the first child. So why suddenly Shukadeva Goswami has to speak regarding these family members? They all were demigods, they took birth in this family. What is sudden connection? So I was little, I got this question. I was little inquisitive. Then when I found the answer, it was really interesting. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gives answer for that question. What he says, he says that this verse is spoken by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj, or this verse was spoken by Narada Muni to Kamsa. Though in the translation of the next verse only it is mentioned about Narada Muni coming and speaking with Kamsa, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this verse is spoken by Narada Muni to Kamsa. Then immediately we may ask, no, it is directly mentioned Bharata. Bharata is Parikshit Maharaj. So how Kamsa is Bharata? How Bharata refers to Kamsa? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gives answers for that also. He says, you divide the word Bharata to Bha and Rata. Rata means one who is absorbed in or engaged in something. Avedavada Ratha. Those who are absorbed in Vedavada. So Rata means one is absorbed in. Bha refers to so many things. And here Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that here Bha refers to one whose desire is always in the mode of ignorance. So here he immediately says Bharata here refers to absorption of a person, absorption of the desire of a person in mode of ignorance. So it refers to Kamsa. So now okay, Narada Muni is speaking to Kamsa. So still, how is that related to what this verse is doing? This verse is very really a turning point, significant verse. Just if I am not wrong, maybe the last Srimad Bhagavatam class when I gave, Gaur Bhagavan Prabhu asked a question. We were discussing about Balaram, I think, at the time. And then Gaur Bhagavan Prabhu asked a question that every time we say that Narada Muni, he speeded up the appearance of Krishna. So how did he do that? We are never hearing the reason. I never heard what did he do to speed up? Then I was giving him a big answer that, Prabhupada, in memories we hear, Prabhupada mentioned that Narada Muni came to Kamsa and spoke. Either the child could be counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that. Like that, Narada Muni came and spoke. This is, we hear from, I think, Badrinarayan Maharaj's memories about Srila Prabhupada. So, like that it was mentioned, so gave all these answers, but I told in the lecture that, but exactly how did he do, what made Kamsa to, what made Krishna to appear fast, did not know the answer, I told. The answer is this verse. How this verse is the answer, that also Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gives different dimension than what Prabhupada discussed in the purport. But I just thought of taking that because in the last class we had that discussion, so we could little more churn about that. So I thought of taking that aspect, and then we'll discuss something, whatever time is there. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying this verse, Narada Muni is speaking to Kamsa, that see, what is he saying? All the inhabitants of Vrindavana, Nanda Maharaj, cowherd men, wives, denizens of heavenly planets, all these Vrishni dynasties, those who have taken birth, all these are from heavenly planets, demigods. So after saying this, in the next verse, Narada Muni continues that they all are appearing for what? To kill all the demons, including you. By coming to know that these all people, those who are appeared in all these families, they are not ordinary people. They all are demigods. Especially, they have come here to kill me and my friends or my group. Therefore, after knowing this, this made Lord Krishna to appear fast. It hastened the appearance of Lord Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says. Still, now there is a question mark for us that, okay, Narada Muni came to Kamsa and then said that these all are not ordinary people, these are demigods. By telling this to Kamsa, still how did this made Krishna to appear fast? Still that question is not answered. Still there is a question mark. And that is also answered by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And that answer also we discussed on that same day. Shri Garudasan Prabhu, he mentioned that from somewhere he heard that when the Asariri came, when the Akashavani came and then said that Kamsa, you will be killed by the 8th child of Vasudeva and Devaki. So after hearing that, what Kamsa did? He mistreated Vasudeva and Devaki. So therefore he accumulated sinful reaction. Had he not know that he will be killed by the 8th child, unknowingly he would be serving them, he would be rendering devotional kind of Ajnata Sukriti, he would have acquired, and then he will not be killed, like that Sri Garudasan Prabhu was mentioning. Then I asked Prabhu that, Prabhu, from where did you hear? I have never heard. Then he said, he don't know. Then we were kind of discussing, nobody knew. But from where he heard was from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives that answer. He says that there are 9 reasons why Narada Muni spoke this verse to Kamsa. Here in translation and then the word by word meaning, we are seeing directly that Prabhupada mentions Parikshit Maharaj. So that means here Prabhupada is directly mentioning that Shukadeva Goswami spoke this verse to Parikshit Maharaj. But as we heard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying both of them could have spoken this verse. One spoken to Parikshit Maharaj by Shukadeva Goswami, or by Narada Muni to Kamsa. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives 9 different reasons why especially Narada Muni spoke this verse to Kamsa. Out of those 9 reasons, one of the reason was this. He says that when Kamsa heard that these all are demigods, especially directly the names of Vasudeva Devaki is also given, then what he will do? He will punish them. He will mistreat them. He will torture them. When devotees are tortured, Lord cannot tolerate that. When you commit offense against Lord forgives. But when you commit offenses against devotees, Lord counts that. Haristane aparade tare harinam tomastane aparade nahi paritran. When somebody commits offense towards a devotee, then there is no forgiveness. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, out of 9 reasons, this is one of the reasons that after hearing this, immediately Kamsa will torture Vasudeva and Devaki and everyone. What did he do? Immediately he called back Vasudeva and started killing from the first child. So we will see even the chapter title. When we see the few chapters afterwards, we will see Kamsa begins his persecutions. Kamsa starts engaging in more and more sinful activities. So therefore, it is very clear that this verse, why there was need for Narada Muni to speak to Kamsa. And some of the other reasons which Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives is, one reason was personal joy of Narada. Narada wanted to see the Lord. So by now informing Kamsa that these are all are demigods and those who are taking birth, they all are also going to assist Lord. So Kamsa will start killing each and every one of them. And so by that, Lord's appearance will not get blocked. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, when Kamsa returned the child back to Vasudeva and told him, okay, you go back, then immediately Narada felt that, oh, this will delay, this will block the appearance of Lord. Narada Muni thought like that. This will block the appearance of Lord because Kamsa is returning back the child. So what may happen? Vasudeva may not get 8 childs because already he will be having few children. Or it may delay, as that answer was also we were discussing. If we have the first child, then you may think, okay, second child we can get after 2-3 years. Third child we can get after 2-3 years. So it may delay. And there Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur clearly says, Narada thought this will block the appearance of the Lord. So therefore Narada came so fast and immediately met Kamsa and said this verse. So that now Narada Muni is also happy. That personal joy he is feeling that, okay, for sure Lord will appear now. Because Kamsa will begin his sinful activities. And another reason Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur gives is, Vasudeva and Devaki, they had some doubt that whether surely Lord will appear as our son or not. So now after Narada saying these words to Kamsa, so he is giving assurance to Vasudeva also, to Devaki also. Surely Lord will take birth. And there are like that so many reasons are given. Now after this immediately we will see Kamsa, he puts Vasudeva Devaki in the jail and then he is torturing them. Even in that distressful situation, to make Vasudeva and Devaki happy, that don't worry, soon Lord will appear as your son and he will take care of everything. To make them happy even in that situation. To Kamsa Narada spoke this verse. And to increase their devotion, to increase their eagerness, to get their mercy on Narada. So like this, so many reasons he is giving. So this is what devotees are doing. As we see in the purport, Prabhupada mentions why all these people from heavenly planetary system appeared here in Bhoja dynasty, in Yadu dynasty, in Vrishnu dynasty. Why? To assist Supreme Lord. Same thing Narada is doing here. To assist Supreme Lord, to make him to appear soon. Narada is taking these steps. So all these people, whoever is in material world, in this earthly planetary system, or whoever is in heavenly planetary system, upper planetary system, or even in spiritual world, all are meant for this only one thing. What? To please Supreme Lord and to assist in his mission. So therefore this nature we can see from every devotee who is surrendering to Supreme Lord, who is giving himself to Supreme Lord. His one and only motive is, let me fulfill the mission of Supreme Lord. Let me try to please him. So therefore here, in order not to block the desire of Lord, means the appearance of the Lord should not get stopped. So therefore Narada Muni is speaking this verse to Kamsa, and Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving so many reasons like this. And when I was reading these reasons, the last reason, the 9th reason, what was mentioned, that was little kind of shocking. Shocking in the sense, the reason was Vasudeva, Narada wanted to make false friendship with Kamsa. So therefore Narada Muni, like now when he is speaking these words, you are like a spy from the opposite army. Narada Muni normally, he is with saintly people, devotees like that. But now Narada Muni is informing about them to Kamsa. Like coming towards Kamsa's party and then informing Kamsa that no, these are people, they are going to kill you. They are going to kill your team. So be aware of that. So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Narada Muni is establishing, Narada Muni is making false friendship with Kamsa so that Kamsa will believe the words of Narada. So now, like even in previous classes, we had these kind of questions that how a devotee could have such a behavior, how a devotee could behave in such a manner, making false friendships. Or in few verses before, if we see, when Vasudeva was trying to protect Devaki, so many reasons he was giving, and in one translation is mentioned that Vasudeva was diplomatic. And then he finally said to Kamsa that, okay, I will give you all the child, leave Devaki. That was a diplomatic move. So how a devotee can be a diplomatic, or even now you see, for example, Narada Muni, by insisting Kamsa to begin his all cruel action, what he is going to do? He is making Kamsa to kill the newborn child. Just now the child was born. But because of the activity of Narada, such a great devotee, Kamsa is going to kill the child. Kamsa is going to kill many more children. So how could a devotee perform such an act? So how he can do? In that same purport also we saw that answer. To fulfill the mission of Lord, a devotee is ready to do everything. In one of the lectures, it was quoted in this I will build you a temple by Giriraj Maharaj. In that, from one lecture it was quoted. There Prabhupada is speaking about Anya Bilashita Shunya verse. There Giriraj Maharaj, he himself is asking Prabhupada, what does this Anya Bilashita means? Anya Bilashita Shunya means what? Then Prabhupada says that spontaneous devotion without any other motive. Just I want to serve Krishna, I want to please Krishna, I am ready to do anything for that purpose. And Prabhupada mentions there, by doing one particular activity, I am going to do this activity, and by this activity, this entire world is going to go to hell. But that activity will please Krishna. I am going to do certain activity. That action will please Krishna, but that same action will make the entire world, the people in the entire world to go to hell. Then what a devotee will do? He will perform that activity, because that will please Krishna. Ultimately, devotee knows that if Krishna is pleased, it will be for the benefit of everyone, but Prabhupada mentions there like that. Even if the entire world goes to hell, if Krishna will be pleased, a devotee is ready to do that. Because devotee knows that Krishna has better plan for everything. So therefore here also we see all these actions, whatever Narada Muni is coming and doing here, Vasudeva is doing, or Yudhishthira Maharaj did. Yudhishthira Maharaj, Krishna asked him to speak lie, how Krishna can induce him to speak lie. So all these things are based on only one thing, that if that thing is for the pleasure of Lord, that is allowed. That is not sinful. This is very nicely mentioned in Haribhakti Vilas, but it is quoted from Mahabharata, Padma Purana. This also in that same book, I will build you a temple, in that same lecture, Prabhupada is quoting this verse, that Yan nimittam kritam papam apidharmaya kalpate Mam anadritya dharmopi papam tatsyan Papam tatsyan something, forgot. So there in that verse it is mentioned, Yan nimittam kritam papam. One is performing sinful activities, papam, kritam papam. He is engaging in sinful activities. But for what? Man nimittam, for my sake. For my pleasure, if somebody is engaging in, from outwardly point of view, it may look like a sinful activity. If somebody is engaging in that sinful activity for my sake, for my happiness, for my pleasure, then Krishna says, Api dharmaya kalpate. That becomes dharma. That is not sinful activities. That is the proper activity. That becomes dharma. On the other hand, outwardly that activity looks like a dharmic activity. Mam anadritya. The activity that will not give me pleasure, but outwardly that activity looks like a pious activity. That activity looks like a dharmic activity. Krishna says, if that activity will not please me, then that becomes sinful. So therefore, a devotee, we see so many times, devotee may act diplomatically, devotee may act crookedly, devotee may cheat. Badrinarayan Maharaj in several memories, in one of the memory, he speaks about this Detroit temple. So Detroit temple, it's, if you have seen the picture or anything, very gorgeous temple. So when devotees came to know about that place, we know in West there were so many churches and other big buildings were taken by devotees, and then Prabhupada made it a temple. So when devotees came to know about this building in Detroit, they came and informed Prabhupada that there's a very gorgeous, very beautiful building. So very nice. Then Prabhupada came to that building with the devotees. Prabhupada was entering the building. Prabhupada saw everything was really beautiful. Prabhupada was looking everywhere, each and every window, walls, everything was done with marble and then jewels, so many things, very aristocratically. And when devotees were going with Prabhupada, so many other things happened, and just we'll focus here. So then devotees, they said to Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, this man is asking nearly $1 million for this building. And Prabhupada replied back, what to speak of this building? Each and every room is $1 million worth. So Prabhupada was saying like that. And Prabhupada was saying this, each and every room is $1 million worth, and then they were going inside. Prabhupada was very happy to see the entire building. And Badrinarayan Maharaj mentions the way how Prabhupada was looking and walking inside that building, it was like Prabhupada will immediately take Lakshmi from his pocket and will give to the man and purchase the building. But at the time there was no money for this particular project. Prabhupada did not have any money. But Prabhupada was walking inside and then he was looking gorgeously. And when they were entering one particular hall, they saw some three arches. Three arches, out of which middle arch was huge and other two arches were small. Exactly like how we have in our ISKCON temples, wherever we have three altars. If we have, for example, Sri Sri Gauranitai and Radha Krishna and Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, if you have the three altars, then we know Radha Krishna altar dome, that arch will be higher and other side altars arch will be little lower compared to that. So this was exactly like that. Then Prabhupada informed them that Krishna engaged this man to build this building for us. So they all were looking very happy, and then Prabhupada was saying, everybody could sense that Prabhupada wanted this house, and the owner of the house also sensed that. This man was so greedy. He was, already, because even when the house is not at all good, still we know how people, they want to charge money. Either it could be a rental house or could be purchase. When somebody is purchasing, they will charge like mad. And this house, especially, it is done very beautifully, and this man could sense that Prabhupada is really into it. So this man is waiting in the garden to meet Prabhupada. He is sitting and waiting. Prabhupada is coming there. And when Prabhupada came, Prabhupada said, really this building is very beautiful. Exactly what we want, that is here. So aristocratically you have built. Then by hearing each and every word, Badrinarayan Maharaj is saying that this man could sense grease in his hands, like he was kind of already money is in his hands, like that he was feeling. He is waiting, and Prabhupada is continuing like this, and Prabhupada is saying, but we are not aristocratic people. We are professional beggars. So why don't you just give this property to us? And Badrinarayan Maharaj says, this man, it was like immediately he got cardiac arrest. He got heart attack on the spot. Like that, this man was completely broken down. What is this? What you are asking? And then after that, conversation is going on back and forth. Then finally, Prabhupada finalized for half of the price. Whatever this man was pushing for, Prabhupada brought it to half of the price. Then some devotees, Ambrish Maharaj, maybe Ambrish Prabhu and some other, some another Mataji. So they all gave amount, and then that half amount was paid, and then this building was taken. And the main thing happened after this. Few days later, the neighbor of that building, that property which now Prabhupada purchased, the neighbor of the building called another temple where devotees are there. So they called and informed them that, see, the owner of this building who gave this building to you, now he is coming here and he is peeling off everything, whatever he could peel off from the building. There were so many kind of jewels, and for doors everything was done in kind of gold, kind of that color, very costly, very, as Prabhupada said, very aristocratically, so many things were done. So this man, whatever he could peel it off, whatever he could plunder, take away from that building, he was taking off and putting in his vehicle. So when devotees came to know that, they ran back to the building, and then they were saying, see sir, you cannot do this. How can you do this after selling us the property, after we made all the money? How could you do this? Then this fellow said, no, your Swamiji cheated me. Really, how for this very minimal price somebody could purchase this building? Your Swamiji cheated me. I cannot leave this. I will take. Like that he was doing, and then devotees sent him back. They went to Prabhupada. Devotees went to Prabhupada, narrated the entire incident, and they were saying to Prabhupada, he was saying, your Swamiji cheated me. So therefore he is doing like this. So he is saying you are a cheater. You cheated him. Prabhupada said, yes, I cheated him. I am a Calcutta boy. Then what do you expect from me? So Prabhupada several times, if you notice, Prabhupada same thing he used. I am a Calcutta boy. I cheated. In Sri Ram Prabhu few months back when Sri Ram Prabhu gave class, foreign devotee, he was mentioning similar incident when during Prabhupada time, when several Westerners came to India, every time they used to get cheated. Even in Salem also we know, when foreigners they come in the beginning days, even now also it may happen, when they come, when they go and purchase some banana, we know how much banana will cost. But the banana seller, he knows this person is coming from West, he does not know the value of banana, value of rupees. So immediately they will tell, just 1,000 rupees, sir. What? No, see, one cheap, one dozen, 12 bananas, just 1,000 rupees. Actually, it is 2,000 rupees. Just for you, I am giving 1,000 rupees. And devotee will think, oh, only just for 1,000 rupees he is giving. He will purchase and come to temple, and then when he tells to another devotee, then only he will come to the realization of how he got cheated. So similarly, that time they are informing Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, this India, everybody is cheating. See, we Westerners, we are here, everybody is cheating. Want to go back? Then Prabhupada said, yes, I am also an Indian. I also cheated you. That's how I have brought you. In one of the letter, Prabhupada writes, had I told you all the rules and regulations in the first, at the beginning time, then you all would have fainted on the spot. So Prabhupada kind of cheated in the sense slowly to bring them into Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada, he was taking all the steps. So therefore, for one's own upliftment of Krishna consciousness also, or to give others Krishna consciousness, one can engage in any kind of these activities. Last few days we are hearing, can we tell lie to our parents? That question was asked. Yes. For what reason? To please Krishna. To assist Krishna in his mission. What assisting Krishna? Krishna wants to take back all the fallen conditioned soul from this material world. He wants to reduce the burden of these demoniac people here. So in that mission we could help. So how we could do? We cannot do like Narada Muni maybe, that inducing someone to kill all the demoniac people. But we can do by killing the demoniac mentalities. So that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not kill the sinful people. He killed the sinful mentality, sinful consciousness. So that we have to change. So for that mission, there are so many devotees like Srila Prabhupada and other, so many of his followers, they were present, they are present, they are guiding us also. So we could also take part in one among them in their mission of fulfilling Krishna's desire. And by that, as Krishna says here, as Prabhupada mentions in the purport, Prapya Punya Kritam Lokan Ushitva Shashwati Sama. After accumulating so much of piety, devotional piety, one may be able to take part directly in the pastimes of Krishna. So we can also pray for that, that one day we may also take part in such pastimes of the Lord. And we can also see Lord face to face, like how Narada is inducing Kamsa, so that Narada Muni can see Lord as soon as possible. Hare Krishna. So these were some of the thoughts. Just this, exactly this verse was related with the last time question, so I thought of discussing regarding that. Hare Krishna. So if any questions or comments regarding this.
That so this diplomacy and even the apparent whatever negative things that is in the material world, A devotee should be very expert enough. He should be under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master and under the guidance of Vaishnavas before dealing in any of these things. Otherwise, generally, you also see consistently in the scriptures and others, all the saintly qualities needs to be followed. So that should be kept in mind. Otherwise, in our neophyte level, we may end up doing some crazy thing and we may say, it's for the pleasure of Krishna, by hook or crook. We may say so many things, but care should be taken to have a balance on that. Otherwise, we may just go either and thither.
Yeah, there is a very thin line, as Prabhu was saying. It's not either just directly black or white. Okay, I will do and then I will tell this is for the pleasure of Lord. We may not know that. So that can be done only under the guidance or by the instruction of our spiritual master from hearing Prabhupada. So, because people also expect from devotees or saintly persons that they will be truthful, they will not cheat us, they will not be diplomatic. Because several times devotees they say that no, that initially we will not directly present Krishna consciousness to people. We will do some bridge preaching. We will present to them differently, or we will go one among them. We can also wear karmic clothes. We can also play with them golf or so many other things. And when they become friends with us, when we establish friendship, then we start presenting Krishna consciousness. So this is also, I'm acting diplomatically for what? For the same Krishna consciousness purpose. We may think so many things like this, but we should be very careful in that. And just regarding this also, one more instance came to my mind that is also mentioned in that same I Will Build You a Temple book. One time, I think this is Madhudvish Prabhu or someone asking Srila Prabhupada that when devotees, when we see a person drowning in water, what should we do? If somebody is drowning in water, what should we do? We have to go and help him. You know what Prabhupada replied actually? A devotee has nothing to do with that person's karma. So then you may get shocked. What is that? Prabhupada said, devotee has to consider his bhakti. He does not have to interfere in the karma of that person. But because other people, the outside people, they will criticize us. They will criticize devotees that see, this devotee was present there. He could help that person. He could save that drowning person, but he didn't do. They will criticize us. By criticizing us, they will go down more and more. So just for that loka vichar, we will save that person also. So there are so many aspects of that. So immediately, because just now Prabhupada said we are not into their karmic activities, we don't have to save. So now we will not save. That is also not there. So there are so many things which we have to understand philosophical wise and according to time, place, circumstance. If I don't know just exactly what verse that when Vasudeva is acting diplomatically. In that purport, if you see Prabhupada mentions, so this diplomatic and other things devotee handles for the mission of Lord according to time, place and circumstance. So I don't know which verse. So according to time, place and circumstance, situations, under the proper guidance of senior Vaishnavas, we have to take decisions. Because at present situation, we cannot even help our own selves. What to speak of helping others. So first of all, therefore we need guidance. We need guidance from others. Hare Krishna. So anything else? And just one more question came to my mind, that when Kamsa heard this from Narada, that all these peoples are demigods, they all are present here to kill Kamsa and other his teammates. Why Kamsa directly didn't kill them? Kamsa could have killed them. So why he didn't do? So I did not know the answer for that, but I was just thinking. Kamsa could have immediately killed Vasudeva and Devaki, or Kamsa could have started killing all these people, those who have taken birth. He didn't kill even one of them. He only killed these 7 children and then other child, those who were born at the time, 8th child was born when Krishna was born. So I was thinking that, but we know the ultimate answer as Prabhupada mentions in every purport and in this verse, today's purport also we saw. Everything happens by the will of Lord. Nato natya dharo yata. Lord himself plans everything. Lord himself acts and then make others also to dance accordingly. So because that was the will of the Lord, Lord had to appear and Kamsa, he also went in the same way. It is not. Any other thing to add regarding that question just came to my mind. Like that day we thought, no, why Kamsa didn't put Devaki and Vasudeva in separate jail so that they will not have a child. It was Lord's plan. Lord's will, Lord's plan. Lord plans. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.